You know what day is today? That's right, the final day of 2021. Yes, screw 2021. I am ready to get this crap over with. Yes. But I guess before we end it all, this year, we should probably look back on it. And I'll say this, 2021 was a interesting year. Do I mean that in a positive way or negative way? Yes, but we'll get to that later. For now, let's look at stuff like, movies. I love movies, man. I talk about it all the time, especially positively. Look at all the good movies I talk about on the channel. And this year had some very good movies, and I was planning on making this video a top 10 list, like top 10 movies of 2021. But then I realized, but there were so many other great things that I like, from like live action shows, the cartoons, and some video games I really enjoy playing. And I was like, I want to talk about all of them. And I thought, screw it, yes, this video will likely end up being much longer and much more complicated to do than it would have been if it was just a top 10 movies of 2021, but I don't care. We're doing a best of 2021, in my opinion. Let's do this, baby. Let's start off with the movies, because 2021 was definitely a very interesting year for movies, because a lot of movies that were supposed to come out in 2022 got pushed back to 2021 because of, recent world events. And by recent, I mean they happened in like 2019, but because of world events. And in fact, a lot of movies that were supposed to come out in theaters went to streaming instead. And another very interesting that happened is with HBO Max. Warner Brothers and HBO Max decided to do this thing where every movie that would come out in theaters would also come out on HBO Max the same day. And that was a thing that happened throughout the entire year. And that's actually how I ended up watching quite a few of these movies. And some of them even end up on this list. And yeah, like I said, well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. Let's just talk about the movies. I want to start off with just the movies that I would describe as fun, either silly fun, dumb fun, or pretty good fun. It was just fun, honestly. And one of those movies being Free Guy, starring Ryan Reynolds. It was a movie that was supposed to come out last year, and when I saw the trailer, I was like, wow, that looks really fun. I'm really excited for it. And it definitely looked like one of those movies that could be good, but still had the chance of being bad. But thankfully, it wasn't bad. It was actually pretty darn fun. Nothing groundbreaking or amazing, but look, I had a very good time watching it. The comedy was really funny. The story was actually pretty interesting. The performances were also great, especially Taika Waititi. His character made me laugh the most. And it's one of those gamer movies that does not feel cringy, honestly. And that was just amazing. Space Jam: A New Legacy was completely stupid. The comedy was dumb, the premise was idiotic, and it just felt like a giant commercial. So in that sense, it makes it the perfect Space Jam sequel, and that's why I thought it was great. And America the Motion Picture was a bonkers this parody retelling of the American Revolution, and it is just ridiculous, it's stupid, and it was fun, honestly. The animation was also very good, and it was just a really dumb movie with some clever commentary in it, but the main point of it is just to be ridiculous and make you laugh, and with that, it succeeded in that for me. Let's move on to the movies that I have a little bit more to say about. Let's start with, I got some notes here because there's so much stuff to talk about, guys. I can't remember it all off the top of my head. Okay, Luca from Pixar. Honestly, super amazing, man. It's honestly such a really likable and just a cute and really likable movie. It's just, I don't think it's possible to hate this movie because it's just so good, honestly. I really liked it, and it definitely gave me this different vibe than I usually get from Pixar movies. It definitely feels more like one of those Studio Ghibli movies that are more grounded and down to earth, like Kiki's Delivery Service, where there is magical elements in there, but again, it has a more grounded and relatable story to it. And man, Luca it has that vibe, and it is really good, man. The animation is so good, and I really like the story. It's simple, but it really works, and you get invested with these characters. And there's some gay subtext in there, which is fantastic. And like I said, the visuals of that movie are, they're beautiful, man. And I mean, it's Pixar, of course it'd be beautiful, and it's a really good movie. And I kind of hope Pixar makes more of these movies. It's not that I love it when they do big stuff, right? But at the same time, it's I feel like if they did these every now and then, in between that kind of stuff, I'd like it, honestly, right? I think I like that. But yeah, Luca was honestly really great, and definitely one of the best animated movies of the year. Let's see, the next one I got is Judas and the Black Messiah. A really fantastic movie, so well directed, and oh my god, the acting in it, some of the best acting I've seen in a movie this year. It was just amazing, honestly. And it's based on a true story about how during the Black Panther Party movement, stuff like that, there was this one guy who tried to infiltrate them and tell their information back to the CIA, or I think FBI, I can't remember. I'm sorry, I'm a fake fan, I know. I'm terrible at describing stuff. That's what you expect from my videos. And I think I spit a little bit. why did I say that? Okay, look, Judas, it's about that, and it's like such an interesting story. It got me hooked in, and like I was just invested. I was like, oh my god, where is this going? Where is this going? And it's like, it's just so good. I guess it does get like a little bit like slow and a little bit boring towards the second half, but it's still investing towards it. I'm still invested, bro. And it's just so good, and like I'm so glad that they made this into a movie, because it got me to learn about the story that I probably wouldn't have heard otherwise, because like I'm like a lazy dummy who doesn't, you know, look things up, look up historical things often. And I even got to learn more about the Black Panther movement, the Black Panther Party movement, and it's like, that's a plus, man. That was great. And another movie, Oxygen, that I got here. It was a movie that I saw on Netflix. It's a French movie, remember that? And it's about this woman who's stuck in like this space pod or something. Again, I'm terrible at describing stuff. And she's stuck in it, and like she's like stuck in space, and she's wondering like, what's going on? Why am I here? And she tries to escape and stuff, and try to figure out where she is. And it's like really interesting movie. Kind of reminds me of like Gerald's Game in a bit, where it's about one person trapped in one place for the majority of the movie, and kind of just stuck with their thoughts and trying to escape. In this movie, it's like that, but you know, in space. It's different, I swear. And she even has like this one computer voice or something in the pod. Again, terrible at describing stuff, but it's very interesting. And I was interested at going like, hey, well, what is going on? Like the mystery was interesting to me. I think the ending was kind of like a cop-out, felt kind of lame, but again, that's a spoiler thing I'm not gonna say. And remember how I said this movie is French? Well, the thing is, I didn't know that, so I watched the dub version without knowing, and the mouth movements were not in sync with the words, with the dialogue. That kind of took me out of the movie. I was like, what? I can't get invested in the story because of that. I mean, I was still invested, but like still, you know, it distracted me. But thankfully, like halfway through the movie, I figured it out. I changed it, and it was like, you know, I changed it to subtitles, and honestly, I think I enjoyed it a lot more. I definitely want to rewatch that movie with subtitles just completely there. So yeah, that's my recommendation. If you want to watch Oxygen, definitely do. Just remember that it's French and put on subtitles. And another movie that I got here, King Richard, also based on a true story. And man, oh man, this movie was so good. It has Will Smith as the main character, and this has got to be one of the best Will Smith performances I have ever seen. I hope he gets nominated for Best Actor at the Oscars or any other awards. He was just that good in it. Is it as good as his performance as Oscar in Shark Tale? Hard to say, but it's definitely up there. It's definitely up there. He did amazing. The other actors were also great too. Like I said, it's based on a true story. It's about like the father of Serena and Venus Williams. I didn't know much about them because I'm not really into sports, so I don't know about the world of tennis. But thankfully, something that I'm really glad about this movie is that again, I got to learn more about that, not just about their contribution to like the influence they had in the world of like tennis, the sport, but also learn about their past and this like really interesting backstory. Just so good, man. Oh my god, these movies really great. Hey, let's talk about DC, because honestly, they only had 2 movies this year, but they were very good movies, if I'm being honest, and I want to talk about them. First, let's talk about Zack Snyder's Justice League. Look, the first Justice League back in like I don't want to say 17. I don't remember anything. Look, I remember it not being good, and I never thought that the Snyder Cut would ever happen, but it did. And here's the thing. When it did happen, I was like, oh, okay, it's probably not gonna be good though, because like that first Justice League was like really bad, and I'm sorry, I'm moving the camera a lot. Okay, it was not good, and I was like, the Snyder Cut will just add a bunch of lame things, and it'll be pretentious and stuff like that, and I didn't think it would be good. I had like zero faith in it, guys. Like, look, I had like absolutely no belief that this would be good. I'm being mean, I'm sorry, but like I had no faith in it. But when it came out, I was like, you know what? I'll watch it out of curiosity, and it was like 4 hours. I was like, oh, you know what? I'll watch a little bit and watch the rest some other time. But no, I watched it on that day, the whole 4 hours, not in one sitting. No, I took some bathroom breaks in there, and I left a few times. But man, look, I watched it though on that day, and it was honestly very good. The beginning was kind of not that great. Like it kind of started the way I expected it to be, like, you know, right, pretentious, have like be overly dark and like just like not that great. But as it went on, it actually got very good. Like the story was a lot more engaging this time. The characters were actually much better, and it was honestly a good movie. Like it was a good movie. I mean, it still has some of that pretentious Zack Snyder stuff in it, but it was, I'll say, it was good. And man, like that's honestly amazing. One of the best pleasant surprises I got this year. Like man, I had like no faith in it. I mean, I was glad that Zack Snyder was finally getting his vision. But now I'm even gladder that that vision was actually good. Is that a word, gladder? I don't care. I'm just happy that it was good. But the other DC movie that came out this year, not only was it better, not only was it great, it was the best comic book movie of this year and probably one of the best of all time. It is so good. The Suicide Squad, directed by James Gunn. When I heard about this movie and that would be directed by James Gunn, I knew like, okay, it'll be better because it has James Gunn. It will be better than the 2016 Suicide Squad, which is probably my least favorite of the DCEU movies. It's really bad, and like, I knew this was gonna be better, but was it gonna be good? And yes, it was good. It was great. It was fantastic. It was so good. Like, the comedy in it was so hilarious. The action was great. The performances were awesome. Like, I love all of them. Like, King Shark, Polka Dot Man, Harley Quinn was great. Bloodshot was great. Was it Bloodshot? Bloodsport? I'm sorry. I'm thinking off the top of my head. I'm a fake fan, I know, but it was honestly so fantastic. And like I said, the comedy, the action was really good. The movie was very gory and bloody, and you know, the sick psycho and me loved that. And it was great, and it's honestly, it's just such a colorful and creative comic book movie. It's just like so good. Like, this movie embraces the fact that it's a comic book movie, and it is great, man. I love it. It was shot well. It was just, it's the best comic book movie of the year. Speaking of comic book movies, let's talk about Marvel, because even though DC was very good this year, Marvel didn't have a bad game either, man. They came in swinging. Like, last year, they had like nothing at all, which honestly I thought was good, because it's like after Endgame and Far From Home, I definitely think we needed a break from Marvel stuff, and that break was definitely very good because it made this year even better, because Marvel, like, they just came in like punching in your face with a bunch of Marvel stuff, like 4 movies, like 5 TV shows, I believe. It's like, I'll get to those shows later, but like, let's talk about those movies, man, because they had a very solid lineup this year and every year. Black Widow is what they started off, and like, the experience with that movie that I had was honestly great. Like, it was my first time going to a movie theater since Onward, and not just that, it was my first time going to see a Marvel movie again, and it was such a great experience. I love that. It's like, I missed it so much, and that experience is probably what I remember more. The movie itself is good. I'll say that. It's pretty good. It's like definitely a very good like mid-tier Marvel movie. I think like the story was pretty interesting. I love some of the character interactions. Like Yelena and Red Guardian made the movie. They were fantastic. The villain Taskmaster was okay. Like, okay, no, that's not true. They were lame. I'll say that. I heard they were more interesting in the comics, and I don't know much about it, but I'm just gonna believe it because this Taskmaster was like not good. And the twist that they did with Taskmaster was, I mean, not terrible, but it's just like, I don't know. I just feel like this villain could have been better. But like, overall, the movie was solid. I'll say that. It was, and I definitely enjoyed that experience of seeing a Marvel movie again in theaters. It was great. And it's like, I haven't rewatched it since that time I saw it in theaters, but it's definitely one I will rewatch soon. You know, will my opinions change? Maybe they won't. Maybe they will. Who knows? But I'll say I really enjoyed that experience, and I think it was really funny how Scarlett Johansson is trying to sue Disney. Is she still trying to sue Disney? I don't know. But the point is, I just like it when like someone tries to take down the big guy. So it's not like they deserve it. But like next one was Shang-Chi, which was also a very solid movie. I really like Simu Liu's character progression from becoming one of those stock photo people to becoming a superhero. That was great. Shang-Chi Legend of the Ten Rings was honestly very fantastic. I thought the story was very interesting. The martial arts action was great. Like, oh my god, this is some of the best action from any Marvel movie this year. It's just so great. It's so dynamic, so good. I love the Chinese mythology monsters that they showed. It was great. And like, again, that story was very interesting. I'll say that. It's like, you know, emphasis on like family and stuff. It was just really good. There are some flaws here and there, which I think I mentioned in like a Letterboxd review, but overall I'd say the movie was very solid, and like definitely like, I'll say like I'd probably rank it number 3 out of like these 4 Marvel movies that came out this year. Like, yeah, like Black Widow's last. Number 3 is this one. The next one was Eternals, which I really loved, and I am kind of upset that other people don't. Like, man, this movie was bad. She has like a rotten score on Rotten Tomatoes, and honestly, like, I respectfully disagree, like, with that statement. It's like, I mean, people can they can have whatever opinions they want. I'm not gonna say they're stupid for not liking this movie. I'm just saying, I respectfully disagree, because this movie was fantastic. Like, oh my god, it was so beautiful. Like, it was shot so well. Like, oh my god, it just looks so great, and it's like, the cinematography was amazing, and like, I thought the characters were just so interesting, and it's like, they had like these really interesting interactions and dynamics, and like, they're like their own little journeys and arcs, which are just so interesting. Like, the characters, and like, I love the diverse cast also. All the actors did an amazing job, and like, the characters is what's really made this movie so interesting to me. And the story itself was also interesting. It does have like some issues, but like, overall I would say it's probably my second favorite MCU movie of this year. And the first one, I mean the last one, Right? That's how it worked. That's how it worked. The quality of these movies just went up and up. Like four. That's how I rank them. Number 4, Black Widow. Number 3, Shang-Chi. Number 2, Eternals. And number 1 being Spider-Man: No Way Home, the second best comic book movie of the year behind the Suicide Squad. Because this movie was, oh my god, it's so fantastic, and I don't know what to say. That's how to explain what makes this movie so great without spoiling it, but I'm gonna try. I know there's probably a bunch of spoilers out there, and I bet a bunch of people have already seen it, like most of the population on Earth. I'm sure newborn babies that were just born a few seconds ago have already seen Spider-Man: No Way Home, but just in case, for that tiny percent who haven't seen it, I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's just so great. It just like felt like this like amazing love letter to the previous Spider-Man movies, and like just a great addition to the Tom Holland Spider-Man story, and it's just so good. The action is great. I love the return of so many villains, and oh my god, there's just so much. Like the story is just so good, and it feels like such a great Spider-Man Peter Parker story. It's just, I don't know what to say without spoiling, but just trust me, it's amazing. So this following segment is dedicated to Lin-Manuel Miranda because he absolutely killed it this year, man. He was like so great. Like his work, fantastic. Let me start with Tick Tick Boom. It's his first time directing a movie, and he did a fantastic job, man. This is an adaptation of Johnny Larson's like autobiographical musical performance, and it's like, it was just so good. Like it got me to learn more about Johnny Larson. It's based on true story about Johnny Larson's life, and I may be interested to look more into his work, like Rent. And I think that's the only thing he made besides this. But like, it was great. It was just so interesting. The acting in it was so good. Like Andrew Garfield was amazing. Really, he was so good. And like the cinematography there was some really good shots in this, and like the songs, oh my god, the songs in it, oh my god, they were so amazing. I've been listening to them so much. I've actually been listening to a lot of songs from like these Lin-Manuel Miranda movies, but like, look, he did an amazing job for his first time directing something. It was great. Viva, which came out earlier in the year, Viva was surprisingly good, honestly. I mean, I wasn't expecting it to be bad. I was going to be okay, but I was like, hey, that was actually pretty good. Not downright amazing, but hey, it was good. I thought the songs were pretty enjoyable, honestly. It's not ones I would repeat like on like all the time. I'd be like, hey, you know, if I wanted to listen to songs, sure, I'll be like, yeah, sure, Viva. It's a very enjoyable movie. It even has some pretty emotional parts in it that I think worked really well. Some musical numbers that I really liked. And overall, I would say it's a very solid movie, very good. And In the Heights, which is an adaptation of his one of his musicals, which, you know, In the Heights. I haven't seen it because I have never set foot on Broadway at all, or in New York. Was it on Broadway? I'm not sure. The point is, like, I don't know much about it, so I can't tell you the differences or not. I heard some stuff was cut out, which you could definitely tell. But overall, I would say In the Heights was really great. It was fantastic, man. It was like, the songs in there are so good, and it's like they're so catchy, and it's like, oh my god, the musical numbers themselves were great. Like they were so vibrant, and so much was happening. It's just so great, and the story was also very interesting. The romance stuff, I don't think it was amazing, but you know, maybe they were better than the original. But honestly, I was still relatively invested in it, and again, like it has a lot of like, you know, that Hispanic representation, and as a Hispanic here, I gotta talk about it. You know, cultural pride, baby. Yeah, really great. The performers were great, especially Anthony Ramos, who I know was completely faithful and loyal to people, and he would never do anything wrong. And yeah, and the other movie I want to talk about is another animated movie called Encanto. And honestly, oh my god, Encanto was so good. Encanto, I'm calling it Encanto. It's just honestly so amazing. Oh my god, the songs in it, oh my god, they just slap, baby. This is so great. And it's honestly, I haven't loved a Disney movie, like a Walt Disney Animation Studios movie, this much since like, I don't know, probably like something like Zootopia or Moana. Probably Zootopia, I think, and Moana. I haven't seen. Might have to rewatch that soon. Maybe my opinion will change. I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent. Look, Encanto was just so good, man. It's like, honestly, one of the a great Disney, one of the best Disney movies we've gotten in years, man. Like one of the best Walt Disney Animation Studio movies we've gotten in years. And oh my god, the animation is just so good. Like all the movements are great, and like visually, it's amazing to look at. Oh my god, especially during the musical numbers where just so much stuff is happening. Oh my god, it's so good, and the story is just so interesting. I love the message of the movie. How it has a story about how we shouldn't like put like a lot of like emphasis on like gifted children, because not only is it harmful to, again, children who aren't gifted, but it also is to gifted children. And it's like, oh my, it's just so good. And it's like a message that I think is so important, that even I related to this movie a lot, and I was like, I did not come to this movie to feel touched in the heart, like, man, I just want to have a good time. But no, man, I get close to crying sometimes. I was like, this movie's speaking of me. And it's just so good. It's definitely one that I want to go into more detail. Maybe I'll even do a video on it. Who knows? The point is, Encanto was great. And it's like, probably, it's definitely my second favorite animated movie of the year. And probably second favorite movie of the year. But it's so close to being number one. But what exactly is number one? So my favorite animated movie of the year is also my favorite movie of the year. That being The Mitchells vs. the Machines, baby. Ooh, yeah, man. This movie was so good. Hold on, wait, be right back. I even hold on, I'm almost there. Just don't leave. I even got the art book for it. It is, oh my god, it's just so amazing, man. Oh my god, this movie was so great. And look, Encanto is my number two for both favorite anime movie of the year and favorite movie. And it's like, look, it is so close to being it, like to the point where I might even change my mind later. I'm not sure, but for now I am definitely saying The Mitchells vs. the Machines. I should get the Encanto art book. But look, Mitchells vs. the Machines is my favorite movie of the year. Oh my god, it is so good. Like, you know, Michael Rianda directed it, and he's the guy who worked on Gravity Falls, and you can definitely feel that. You can see the Gravity Falls vibes in it, with like the relationships of the characters and oh my god, there's a comedy in this movie. It's like one of the funniest movies I've seen this year, not just animated ones, just overall movies. It is hilarious. Like, I have laughed out loud so many times, and I love the characters in it too. I love their dynamic and their dynamics and interactions, and like, oh, the fact, you know, they're a family. It does have that kind of typical story of like a family that don't get along, but they have to learn to, like, hey, they gotta team up, and like, boom, they learn to appreciate each other more. But man, it is so done so well here. I love the relationship between Katie and Rick. Like, it's like, I love that it doesn't go completely on one side where it goes like, oh no, Katie's in the right or Rick's in the right. They both really do care about, you know, or Rick really cares about Kate. It's like they're definitely both in the wrong in some way, but they're both in the right as well. And it's like, I love that this movie has like a story about like technology taking over, but it doesn't completely go, oh, we should just stop using technology and learn to appreciate the outdoors and stuff. But it also doesn't go, no, we should completely go, you know, right, technology wise. It's somewhere in the middle where it goes like, there's a good side and bad side to both of them, but we gotta find that good side. It's just so good. And like, seeing the family, you know, seeing like to grow and like have fun together as they try to save the world from the robots, it's just so great. I love it anyway. And it's even like Encanto, I related to this movie in some sense. Like, Katie, well, she's like more outgoing and energetic than me, like, you know, than I usually am in public. You know, I'm more like someone who's like, let's just say I'm kind of a little bit more introverted while she's more extroverted. But man, I relate to her like someone who, like, at the time, who gets like too caught up in her own thing sometimes, and like doesn't always get along with her family at times. And like someone who loves movies, like I love movies. I even want to learn to be a director as well. But it's like, yeah, I related to her in some sense. And like, even like the whole family together, like, man, I feel like that's like, again, another movie that was like, man, why you gotta touch me in the heart like that, bro? It's like, man, but it's like seeing them grow together. It's just like, oh my god, it's so great. The emotion in it is great. The comedy is hilarious, man. It's like the animation. Oh god, the animation, it is so good. Like, some amazing animation. It's like, you can definitely tell. Like, I'm gonna say Spider-Verse vibes. Like, I know this is probably developed at the same time. Maybe, I don't know. I know how animation works. It takes a long time, but you can definitely feel that kind of sense where it's like 2D illustrations brought to life. This looks like straight up concept art brought to life, and it looks so great. Like, oh my god, it is so beautiful to look at. From like the scenes with like the outdoorsy nature stuff, and then like the robotic like places. It's so great. Oh my god, this movie is just so amazing, and it's like absolutely my favorite movie of the year. Oh my god, I think I've been spitting a lot throughout this video. Now, let's move on to live action shows. Cartoons is gonna get a different section, animated shows, because like, it's probably gonna be super long, because here's the thing, I mostly watch animated shows. When it comes to live action shows, I've only got a few things, most of it being the Marvel shows, because we got like 4 live action Marvel shows. That's just gonna take up the majority of this stuff. Look, I would put The Beatles Get Back, you know, that documentary series about the Beatles, and like, here's the thing, I totally would, but I've only seen like 10 minutes of the first episode. Like, every episode is like over 2 hours long, and I couldn't find the time. I'm sure it's great, and if I actually sat down and finished the whole thing, I'm sure it would end up on here. But what we got, you know, that's not here. We got like 2 things I want to talk about, and then like the 4 other things, which are just the Marvel shows. So yeah, let's go on and talk about Marvel plus some other shows. Okay, so before I actually get to the live action Marvel shows, which will probably take up the most out of this like segment, I should talk. I want to talk about this other show first called The Movies That Made Us. Season 2 and Season 3 came out this year, and man, I just want to talk about this. This show is phenomenal. Honestly, it's amazing. If you're a fan of like movies and seeing the behind the scenes of them, you should definitely check it out, man. Like they talk, like Season 2 probably my favorite so far because literally 3 out of the 4 movies they talk about are some of my favorite movies of all time. Jurassic Park, Back to the Future, Forrest Gump. They also did Pretty Woman, but like even that episode was also pretty interesting. And with Season 3, it came out in October, so most of it was horror movie related, and that was awesome. Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th. They did Aliens as well. They also added the other, like they had like the movies that made us had this spin-off called the Holiday Movies That Made Us, that I believe came out, I want to say last year, the year before sometime, and for some reason they got rid of that, and they did the two episodes that were part of that spin-off, Elf and The Nightmare Before Christmas. They just added those onto the 3rd season of like, you know, the movies that made us, which I guess is like, you know, I don't know, I want to know why they did that. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, I'm just saying I'm curious. Does anyone know about that? But the point is, watch this show, it's great. And also check out like the main guy that created the show, I believe. I think he created it, but at least he's the guy who like at least produced it and stuff. He worked on it. Also did another show called The Toys That Made Us, also on Netflix. Oh yeah, I should say the show's on Netflix. I'm sorry, I'm just like, okay, on Netflix, The Toys That Made Us. Check that one as well. Also, Behind the Attraction on Disney Plus, also great. It's about like behind the scenes of like the makings of like many Disneyland or Disney World rides, stuff like that. Check that out. Basically, look up the guy and just watch all his shows. Like, I love this. But yeah, man, Movies That Made Us is like this great documentary series on Netflix about the making of movies, and it's honestly phenomenal. So Marvel went pretty wild this year. Like, man, not only did they have 4 movies come out this year, they also had 4 live action shows come out on Disney Plus. And man, oh man, they were all great, but had somewhat disappointing finales in the end. Okay, that's not true. The Hawkeye finale was actually pretty good in some, but like I'll get to those later. First, let's start off with WandaVision, which was such an interesting show to watch. Like that experience of watching it week by week, which is so good. It's like they had this mystery of like, what's going on? What's going on with Wanda in this weird Westview place, and why are they going to these like Full House, I Love Lucy situations? Like it was just so interesting, and it was like such a weird and bizarre concept for a Marvel show of all things, for a Marvel thing at all, like having like this somewhat mysterious show, but with like the themes of like different sitcoms from different eras. So it was just so interesting and engaging to watch, and I love that they did something weird. I hope they continue doing weird things like that. That'd be so interesting, and like, you know, it was just so interesting, and I love like the mystery and like seeing like Wanda, like seeing her try to deal with like the trauma of like what she went through in the previous movies, and like it was just so engaging until that ending. The ending, I don't think was terrible. It had good parts in it, but the payoff itself was just not completely there, especially for a show that started off so well. But overall, I would say the show was good, and it's definitely one that I think maybe I'll even talk about sometime in the future. Like I want to talk about all these Marvel shows sometimes, because I do want to talk about more MCU things, you know, in probably future videos. But like, I'll say WandaVision was very good. Had kind of a lackluster ending though. Agatha All Along was great though. I love that song and I love that character. Falcon and Winter Soldier was the next one, and man, this was a really interesting show to watch. It was like definitely felt more Marvel-y than the last one, because this one had, you know, the more action and stuff like that. That was great. And like I love the dynamic with Bucky and Sam. I thought they were great, and like seeing like Bucky try to deal with his past was really interesting, and Sam trying to figure out whether he can or not he can fit the role of Captain America was really interesting. I love that. It had such interesting like concepts that they dealt with, and like Isaiah, I love that character, man. His backstory was great, and what they did with him, like legit almost brought a tear to my eye at the end. Like it was great. And the one of the main antagonists, Carly herself, I thought was okay. She was the main antagonist, but the real antagonist that I really cared about was that Party City looking Captain America, the one that came in to replace Steve Rogers. He was just such a fun antagonist to hate. But I do hate that that real life people actually tried to attack the real life actor on Instagram and social media and stuff. Don't do that. Do not hate on actors for playing characters you don't like. That is legit not a cool thing to do, alright guys? Seriously, that is like a douchebag move to do. But the character himself though, oh man, I loved hating him. And that finale I think was better than the WandaVision finale, I will say that. But again, the payoff for a lot of things just wasn't completely there, especially what they did with that Party City Captain America. The turnaround that he had, I don't want to say for, you know, because I don't want to spoil it, but I'll say like what they did with him was like, you know, I didn't really like it. I mean, I feel like what seems like the direction that they're going with him could be interesting, but overall I would say like, I don't know, man, I feel like they should have done something different. But you know, overall I would say Falcon and Winter Soldier, really solid show. I don't think I like it as much as WandaVision, but who knows? Maybe that could change in the future after rewatch. But Falcon and Winter Soldier, pretty great. Loki, probably my favorite one out of all like the 4 live-action Marvel shows, which is funny to say because like the ending was probably the worst one out of all of them. If I'm being honest. I know, ironic. But man, I thought like the concept was just so interesting about like this like time travel like police people who like go back in time and try to make sure time continues. Like, oh, it was so great. I love the character interactions with Loki, Sylvie, the Owen Wilson. I'm upset that he never said wow or anything like that. But you know, right? Honestly, she should have said it. But man, the interactions are great and the story was just so interesting. And I love like the little like all the stuff they set up like with the time variant association. Like that was such a cool concept, and it's like it is just so interesting. But that ending though, it legit was the worst one. Like, I mean, I guess it gets me a little bit excited about what they're gonna do, and I'm actually glad that this show is actually getting a second season, when the other ones were like just mini series that were just they told a complete story. But this one is like, I guess that gets me a little bit more excited. It's like, okay, so this one's getting a second season. That's pretty cool because, you know, like I said, this one was my favorite. But that ending, it's like it clearly just felt like it's just setting up for a lot of stuff. And I know a lot of MCU projects have that kind of feeling, but this one just had that in like the worst way. Just it feels like it's only there to set up future stuff, and that kind of wasn't cool. But overall, I would say Loki was still probably my favorite one. I thought that was great, and I love Tom Hiddleston though. He was great. And last one that we got was Hawkeye. You know, the live action shows. Hawkeye. Overall, I think I would probably say it was my least favorite one, not because it was bad or anything. It's just because it has a character that I kind of don't really care for all that much. I don't know. I was never a big Clint or Hawkeye fan, but I will say the show itself was interesting. Like I love Katie in it, and like overall, I would say I think there was a lot of good stuff in it. It was a pretty interesting story throughout. And yeah, the action was good. I would just overall say it was good, not amazing, or I wouldn't even say it's like great like the other ones. But I will say this: it did have the better finale out of it. It probably has the best finale out of all of them, objectively, because like hey, it finished off its story pretty well. The action was pretty good, and like overall, I would say, yeah, I'd say it was good, but. It does have there is one more reason why I would consider this the best finale. It's because of that mid-credit scene. Bro. The best thing about the Hawkeye show was Rogers the Musical. That joke that they had in the first episode, I was like, yes, I love this musical. I want it to be a real thing. And then as the mid-credit scene, oh yes, this is full-on spoilers for the mid-credit scene, not for like the show itself, but like I'm gonna say mid-credit scene, we had a full performance of like the main like save the city moment from like Rogers the Musical, and man oh man, it was incredible. And it pained me that like, okay, my sister told me that apparently people online like on TikTok or whatever, I don't know, are saying that it was bad. I don't know what they're talking about. That moment slapped. It was the best moment of the entire show, one of the best Marvel related things of this year. It was great, man. Like, oh man, you just like save the cities. It was honestly amazing. And I get that people were like, I wanted something more important. It's like, dude, we literally got like Spider-Man No Way Home like 5 days before the finale, okay? I think that was enough to fill my thirst for more important like MCU stuff that will like show like what, okay? I was just glad that like Rogers the Musical, that whole moment, it was incredible, and it made Hawkeye's finale the best one out of all these shows. And overall, yeah, go watch Rogers the Musical. So now, the last thing I want to talk about is probably my favorite live-action show that I watched this year, that being the big phenomenon, Squid Game on Netflix. Man, Squid Game was just like, oh my god, this show is like really incredible. Like, the finale was not that great, but I'll get to that later. Squid Game is just overall just honestly so good, and it was like such a surprise that the show like this became as popular as it did. Like, okay, the way I heard about it was like, I think I heard Shay Frillis mention it on Twitter saying like, hey, I thought this show was good or something, and I'll be like, maybe I'll check it out. And then I added in and I watched it. I was like, hey, yeah, that was pretty good. And then suddenly it just became this huge phenomenon, and I was like, whatever, it just became this huge thing. I was like, whoa, that's actually really cool, because if you think about it, a show like this, it's so weird that a show like this became as popular as it did in the mainstream, because it's a foreign show from Korea, and it has like a bunch of like Korean names. I know a lot of people probably like, you know me, I'm a stupid American. I'm sure a lot of us could not pronounce a lot of them. Like, again, I'm a stupid American, and it's like, okay, it has like a bunch of like references to stuff that's really only popular in Korea, and it has like such a weird concept about like these people trapped in like this game, like this series of games where they could win a huge amount of money, but if they lose, they die. And it's just like so weird. It has like this like interesting like social commentary about how how the poor is treated, and how like, you know, the big rich people, you know, are terrible. It's so interesting. And but it is so odd that a show like this became as popular today. But honestly, that's what I really love, you know, right? That it is great, it's so great that something like this became such a huge hit, and it deserves to be, man, because it is such an interesting show. Like the characters are so interesting. I love their backstories, and like seeing their journeys, and like trying to win and everything. It's just like so interesting. Their dynamics are great, and like all the betrayals, the stuff, the stuff that happens in it. The drama is so good. And like, oh man, and again, like, so those games that they play were interesting. Like some of them I never heard of before, because, you know, I think they're only popular in Korea, and, you know, stupid American. But it's like, it was so interesting, man. And it's like, again, that's such a weird concept, and I love the sets and everything. It's like, it's so weird, but that's what makes it so great to me. It's so great. The finale itself, I don't think it was terrible. I just feel like, man, I feel like that it kind of felt like a lackluster payoff, if that makes any sense. I can't really go too deep into it without spoiling it, but overall I say, well, the ending was not so great. I feel like overall I would say Squid Game Season 1 was such an interesting show, and I feel like, you know what, I think Season 2 could be interesting to watch, honestly. I would rather prefer, like, Squid Game was more an anthology show, but it seems like they're setting up, like, the main characters, like, continue being in the Squid Game Season 2, but who knows what will happen. We'll just wait and see. Squid Game overall was honestly so fantastic, and it was just brilliant. Now let's go into the segment of the video that I actually think I have the most to talk about. Like, look guys, I watched like a lot of shows this year. Like 96% of it was just animation, like animated shows. Bro, I'm sorry. Look, I love animation. It's like my favorite art form out there, like form of storytelling, and I just think it's like really great. And there was just like, this year was like such an amazing year for animation. Like I said, like my favorite movie of the year was animated. In fact, 2 of my favorite movies of the year were animated. And like, and animation this year, when it comes to television, really strived. Like honestly, like even though like, okay, so again, the pandemic and world events also affected, like, you know, a lot of shows this year. For example, like a lot of these shows were supposed to come out much earlier, but they had to be pushed to this year, and a lot of them had to be worked on during the pandemic. Like, you know, they had to like record most voice actors had to record lines at home, animators had to work from home. It was all this crazy stuff, but yet it's a lot of these shows were still, look at how much stuff I got, and it's like it still thrived. Animation still thrived, and we got some amazing things. Like I gotta say, this has gotta be one of the best years for animation I have ever seen. And it's like like adult animation thrived, like children animation thrived. It's just like, you know, family animation. It's just like so amazing. And like, and also another interesting thing about this year was that, okay, I'm pretty sure 98% of all the stuff that I watched, like animated wise, were on streaming services. Like, man, like legit, like I think only some of them were like on Disney Channel or something, and that was really the only place to watch it. Like everything else was like Hulu, Amazon, HBO Max, Netflix, Disney Plus. Like, and honestly, this is a sign to see, like, you know, right, sign to show how the future's gonna be. Like, yeah, we're in the age of streaming, and you know, right, I'm honestly, it doesn't seem that bad, honestly. I actually kind of like, I mean, if we can continue getting quality shows like this and have them be successful, then I guess age of streaming is the way to go, if we're being honest. But yeah, there was a lot of quality animation, and again, the reason this list is so long is because, again, I loved so much this year that I didn't want to leave anything out, and so I had to, and it was really hard to find which ones to put, which ones to, so much stuff. I know I'm going on and on, but like I said, animation is my favorite art form, and you know, right, there's just a lot of great animation this year, animated shows, and I really want to talk about it, so let's go. Well, first off, I want to talk about some shows and seasons that just came out, and I don't have a lot to say at the time. I just want to give like my quick thoughts on it, because I really enjoyed them, and it's either like, you know, a lot of people aren't talking about them, or I just go like, hey, I still want to mention them even if I don't have a lot to say. So here we go. Solar Opposites Season 2, which premiered on Hulu. It's an adult animated show created by Justin Roiland, co-creator of Rick and Morty, and Mike McCann, I believe another person that worked on Rick and Morty. And man, oh man, this show is like really funny. It's like a more goofier, less nihilistic version of Rick and Morty, but with like aliens and like this sitcom setting. And it's like, it's pretty funny, honestly. I had a lot of, you know, I laughed a lot. And like, there's like this really interesting subplot about like shrunken humans, and it's like great. It's like super epic. So yeah, check it out. Close Enough Season 2 premiered on HBO Max. It's another adult animated show, this time created by J.T. Quintel, the creator of Regular Show, and you can definitely feel that like Regular Show DNA in there with like its style of comedy, and it also kind of gives you the same, like, its laid back tone. It's like, you know, in weirdness, it's really fun. It's like if Regular Show was like a show about like 20-year-olds trying to like, you know, figure out what they're gonna do, then Close Enough is a show about 30-year-olds still trying to figure out like how to be a parent and stuff like that, but still trying to somewhat keep connected to their, you know, younger selves. You know, it's like that, and it's like honestly really fun. I really like it. Ghost and Molly McGee is a Disney Channel show. I watched it. So far I'm really liking it. It's like very cute, and it's like I love the characters. It can be really funny at times. It's about like this girl named Molly McGee, and she befriends this ghost named Scratch, who is voiced by Dennis Snyder, and that's awesome. That's epic, and overall very enjoyable. Nice. Animaniacs on Hulu Season 2. This is the reboot of Animaniacs, or more like a revival or a continuation, really. But honestly, I'm really enjoying it. It is just kind of more of the same of like Season 1, but this time with the, you know, obviously not the same stories, but you get what I mean. It's like not really much of a big step up, but honestly, that's kind of okay. It's more of the same. It's nice, honestly. I really like it. I laughed a lot. I do wish a lot, some more characters, like the only characters from the original show that are here, of course, the Warner Brothers and sister, and Pinky and the Brain. That's it. I guess Ralph, the security guard, and like Dr. Scratch and Sniff, you know, right? He's there, but I don't know, man. I miss Slappy, the Good Feathers, you know, Chicken Boo. I mean, he was in this season, like, you know what I mean. I miss those characters. I wish they could bring him back, or you know, just more like have more other like original characters. They do have a bit, but like, you know, I'm going way too far. The point is, I really like Animaniacs on Hulu Season 2, and I can't wait to see more. Honestly, it's a really funny show. Not as good as the original, but who knows? I really like the direction it's going in. It definitely feels like it differentiates itself from the original, and I really like it, so, you know, I hope to see more. And I'm like one of like probably 6 people who enjoyed MODOK on Hulu, an adult animated show about the character MODOK, you know, the Marvel character. Yeah, I'm probably one of 6 people that actually liked it, but okay, I thought it was funny. It's not like anything great or amazing. It's not groundbreaking. I just think, hey, I laughed quite a few times, and you know, a lot of people crap on it, but like, hey, I liked it. I'm gonna mention it. So now I want to talk about a couple of shows that actually ended this year and why I really enjoyed their finales, and I really want to talk about it. Alright, I know I just repeated myself, I'm sorry. Carmen Sandiego was a show on Netflix, and I know like jack about like the previous versions of Carmen Sandiego, but I really like this one version on Netflix. The visual style was really interesting. Like I thought it was like it looked visually great. I thought like the characters were really fun and enjoyable. The story was really engaging, and like the ongoing mystery about like Carmen Sandiego's past and like her connection with like with Vile, the evil organization, was just like super interesting, and like it was really well done. And the final season, honestly, I think really tied everything up together, like up in like a little nice package with a little bow. It was great, and I think like everything turned out really great in the end. And Carmen Sandiego is just a really solid show. Definitely check it out on Netflix. DuckTales is probably the DuckTales reboot, which I think came out back in 2017. Aired its finale this year, and DuckTales, like this reboot, is like probably the greatest reboot I have ever seen. It is so good, and it's easily one of my top 3 favorite Disney animated shows. I might even go as far to say it could be my favorite, honestly. It is so good, and it's definitely a show that I want to talk about more, probably in a future video, honestly. Like, I really hope I do, because this show is great. I love the characters, the storylines are really interesting, the comedy is really funny, man. It's like DuckTales is just so good. It's like the greatest reboot I have ever seen, man. And this finale was honestly so great. It was legit perfect. I would call this finale perfect. Like every major character got a moment to shine. Even the side characters, what they did with Webby was really great. And like, oh man, like her, like the twist that they did with her, it was so interesting. Like the story was interesting. The stakes felt surprisingly much higher here than they did in the season 2 finale, which had like aliens trying to like, you know, tried to make the Earth go. I'm not gonna say because of spoilers, but like, you know, that was a worldwide crisis thing. But like but here I feel like the stakes were much higher because they were like much more personal. If that makes any sense, because it was like, oh, it was just so good, honestly. And it's a show that I really want to go into more detail in the future. And this finale was just straight up perfect. It upsets me so much that Disney decided to cancel this after 3 seasons, because I know there's like so many more stories they could have told. But as it is, it ended perfectly, and honestly, I just love it. The DuckTales reboot is great. Check it out. It's all on Disney Plus now. So And another one I want to mention is F is for Family on Netflix. It aired its final season this year, and F is for Family is a show co-created by Bill Burr. It's an adult animated show, and I know it looks like a Family Guy ripoff, but trust me, it is not. It is so much more than that. The comedy can be really funny at times. The animation is not amazing. I wish it could be better, but for the most part, it's you know, it moves well, and the visual style, it's like, you know, right? Like, okay, I guess the end. I'm sorry, I'm just going. Okay, look, the point is, visually, it's not amazing, but hey, it works. Like, the characters is what makes the show. They have such interesting, like, storylines each season, and you got invested with them and the drama with them. It is just so good, and it's like honest. And this final season, I think, was really good, honestly. And it felt like a perfect ending for this type of show, and it works really well. And overall, I would say F is for Family is honestly very good, and more people need to check it out. Go watch it on Netflix. Hey guys, this video is like already, you know, like a bit much longer than most of my usual videos, and I'm really, and there's still like a lot I gotta go through, so don't mind me if I'm gonna try to speed run through some of these. Alright, Centaur World Season 1, Season 2 appeared on Netflix. Really fun show. It's like wacky. It looks like this wacky baby show, but then also has this like straight up nightmare fuel. It has some like really catchy songs in it. It's like so bizarre, and it's like, I'd say just watch the first few episodes, and if it's something you're not into, that's perfectly understandable. But if it is something, I think just look at the trailer or something. If it looks like something you're into, watch it, or like watch the first few episodes. Honestly, I think this show, I really like it. Season 2 started off kind of weak, but in the end, I think they pulled it all off. It was honestly an amazing finale. And overall, Centaur World on Netflix, really great. Kid Cosmic, Season 1 and Season 2 also on Netflix. It's a show created by Craig McCracken, the creator of Powerpuff Girls, Wander Over Yonder, and Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. And I can definitely feel some Wander Over Yonder vibes with like Kid Cosmic, because this Kid Cosmic is like a really fun and enjoyable show with like really likable characters, and like I love its art style. It's like a combination between like Calvin and Hobbes and Peanuts with Jack Kirby comics, and it's honestly great. I love like the sci-fi, like all the space stuff in it, the designs of the aliens, like all the animation is really great in this. Another great show from Craig McCracken, and if you love his work, again, Powerpuff Girls, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Wander Over Yonder, I think you'll definitely like this show. Inside Job, another show on Netflix. It's an adult animated show created by like us person who helped work on Gravity Falls, regular show, and even Alex Hirsch, the creator of Gravity Falls, helped was like an executive producer on this. And Inside Job is like really funny. I love its like wacky I'm sorry, plot of like this secret like shadow government agency that I'm sorry. Okay, and it's like deals with all the world's conspiracy theories, like like the moon landing was fake, lizard people, stuff like that. And it's like I think the concepts that it deals with is like really interesting, and the animations are really good. It does look a little, the style does look a little too similar to Rick and Morty for my liking, but overall I still really like it. The comedy's really good, honestly, and I'm really excited to see what they do with Season 2. Jellystone is a show created by C.H. Greenblatt, who's the creator of Chowder and Harvey B. So if you like those shows, I think you'll definitely like this one. It's him dealing with the Hanna-Barbera characters like Yogi Bear, other ones like Peter Potamus, I believe was his name, Doggy Daddy, Augie Doggy, other ones that I can't remember right now because again I'm trying to speed run through this, and it's like basically almost all the Hanna-Barbera characters that aren't Scooby-Doo, and it's like really wacky, it's funny. Oh man, this show is like really fun. I love the art style of it. Like I just love C.H. Greenblatt's style, and it's great. It definitely gives me Chowder vibes with this, but it's like really funny, and I love all the references to Hanna-Barbera characters, and like definitely one of the best uses for a lot of these characters that I have ever seen, and it's like really fun, honestly. And that's how I describe Jellystone. Really fun. It's on HBO Max. Check it out. And another one that's on HBO Max, Aquaman King of Atlantis, is like a mini series. Like it's like of 3 specials, like each being like around like I think 40 minutes or something. It's about Aquaman. It's created by the guy who created Thundercats Roar, which I have not seen, but I definitely want to check out now because I thought these were hilarious. Like the animation is like can look weird at times, but honestly that's why I love it. It's allowed to look weird and goofy, but it's also like really dynamic, especially during the action, which is surprisingly really good, and it can look amazing. Like this visual style is great, and like the comedy is like so funny. It moves so fast paced, and it just makes you laugh like a joke a minute, and it's hilarious from like the visual jokes and stuff like that. It is honestly really funny, and I love the vocal performances. It does lose a little steam as it goes, but that could be because like I binge watched it all together instead of like watching it week by week. But like, and I feel like that would have had like a different effect. But honestly, I still had fun. It's definitely something that I would rewatch. Aquaman King of Atlantis, really funny. Check it out on HBO Max. Okay, now I want to talk about these two Disney Channel shows because they've been getting some popularity. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're called Amphibia and the Owl House, I believe. I'm not sure if you've heard of them, but like, you know, I thought about talking about them because, you know, they're so obscure and like nobody else is talking about them. Alright, but Amphibia, the season 2 finale, True Colors. Oh my god, this has got to be one of the greatest episodes of animated television I have ever seen, man. It is so great. Like, oh my god, it is the biggest what the hell moment I have ever seen. Like, especially, like, overall the story was really epic. It had some amazing scenes and like, oh, some great character moments and interactions. And that one moment, I think you know what I'm talking about, that made me go, no way. There is no way Disney just did that. No. And the fact that that was the season 2 finale, it was like, what the hell, man? It was incredible. And season 3 started later on, and so far it's pretty good. It's not like going the direction I expected it to go, but honestly, it is really fun though. It has some really funny moments, and it does seem like we're gonna be getting much bigger. Like the season 3 is gonna get much bigger later on, like even more epic with when the episodes return in like 2022. There was a Christmas special though, and that was actually really nice. I really liked it. Very wholesome, had some really nice moments in it. Really cool giant robot. And Rebecca Sugar, the creator of Steven Universe, sang a Christmas song in it, and it was really lovely. I loved it. And now the other thing I want to talk about is Owl House Season 2. Owl House Season 2, man, is honestly incredible, bro. This season has honestly been slapping so hard, man. Like, okay, so something about the first season, and a lot of other Disney Channel shows, and like a lot of animated shows in general, just show, you know, right, have like do episodic episodes, right? Every episode is its own like adventure that will have some connecting themes overall, and some stuff will probably come back later, but for the most part, it feels like just a little standalone adventure for the characters, you know, right? But Owl House Season 2, like, no, every episode feels important. Like, Season 1 felt like, you know, like just mostly episodic episodes, but, you know, they had important stuff, like underlying stuff going on between them. But no, every episode of Season 2 so far, it feels important. Like, big stuff happens in every episode that continue the main story and stuff like that. And it is honestly incredible. Like, some big reveals happened in only like what was it, the first 6-8 episodes that have come out or something. Sorry, I know I'm a fake fan, but like, oh man, season 2 has been going great so far, and the best episode so far, not just in season 2 but also of the entire show so far. Knock knock knocking on Hootie's door. I love Hootie. I think he's like an amazing character. I know, and like the fact that what is seemingly just a joke character, his episode that focuses on him has some of the biggest plot stuff to happen in the show. For Ida, she like got a better understanding of her like curse, and then she turns into that harpy. Oh yeah, spoilers, her harpy form. And then like King learns that he has powers. Oh my god! And for all you Lumity shippers out there, for Lumity and Amity, I'm sorry, Luce and Amity. I know I'm a fake fan. Luce and Amity, they get together in this episode because of you know who, Hootie. Yes, this episode is one of the best of television I have ever seen. Best episode of the Owl House, and honestly, it is great, and I love it, man. And like, it's like, and the fact that and the main center of the episode is a joke character, Hootie, and that he's the reason that all this big major plot stuff happens is great. And again, all you Looney shippers have Hootie to thank. And man, oh man, Amphibia, True Colors, and season 3 have been like really great. Owl House season 2 also been incredible, man. And oh, Owl House, man, this show is so good, and I freaking hate Disney because they canceled Owl House and are not even giving it a full season 3, man. Disney, what the hell is wrong with you, bro? Like, why? You seriously gonna cancel one of the greatest shows you've had in years? And then also a few months ago you made Wall-E NFTs. Like, what the hell? And I hate you for making me have to look up what NFTs were, actually understand what they are, to understand the irony in that. I hate Disney. Alright, now here's, I believe, the best of the best stuff that came out this year, and man oh man, I'm excited to dig into this. First off, What If on Disney Plus. It's an anthology show of the Marvel Universe, but instead every scenario is like, hey, what if this happened? Like, what if Thor had a party? Or what if Killmonger and like, you know, Tony Stark became BFFs and then Killmonger betrayed him? Okay, there's a lot more crazier stuff like that. Like, what if like Yondu picked up T'Challa instead of Peter? You know, stuff like that. And overall, I'm really enjoying it. And like this first season, I think was really good. I love the animation style, like the art style of the show, and the animation stuff was really good. There were some great action scenes, and I think like every episode, like the interesting concepts that they come up with is like really good, honestly. And this might be my second favorite MCU thing this year, behind Spider-Man No Way Home, or actually third favorite MCU thing this year. Second is obviously Rogers the Musical, baby. Yeah, Rogers the Musical. Okay, I'm sorry. Get back to this. What If, overall, I think is really good. The finale itself is good, but honestly, like it has this thing where all the characters from the previous episodes, which again is an anthology episode, every episode is a different story, kind of all come together to beat this one bad guy, and it's fine. You know, there's some good moments in there, some cool action, but it's like, I don't know, I feel like I would have preferred it more if it just continued being an anthology show with like some overarching elements, you know, right, with stuff like that. But like overall, it's like I still think the finale was good, probably the second best finale of any Marvel show this year. And this, you know, I think What If is like honestly very good, and it's just like really fantastic, and I can't wait to see what they do with season 2, because the possibilities they can do with this concept is really interesting. Invincible on Amazon Prime, I believe. Invincible. I actually started reading the comic a little bit after I watched the show, because I'm interested now, and it's like, oh man, this show, it's like such a great step. Okay, this is an amazing step in adult animation, like to go forward, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, so Invincible is a superhero show, and it's like, oh my god, it is so good. Like the story is just so engaging, and like the characters are so interesting. Like, the main conflict with like Omni-Man, and like, I mean, I don't want to say because of spoilers, but like the show has been out for like quite a while now. I think everyone knows, but like just in case for like the 3 people who haven't seen it, man, or don't know, it's like, oh man, Invincible is so good. Like its characters are so interesting. I love the concept of like all the interesting characters they have, and like their unique like powers are so interesting. And it's like, oh man, and like, the show's also very bloody, and it actually kind of deals with that. Like, I mean, other superhero stuff has dealt with like oh hey, what if like, you know, what if they actually acknowledge like, oh, what they do is kind of messed up, and like the people who have died, it's like, oh no, they show it here. It is bloody, it is gory, and it can be downright kind of disgusting at times, and it is so interesting, man. And oh my god, it's like such like a unique, it's honestly really great, and it's like, it's so interesting that a show like this exists, and it's so good. It's definitely a step in the right direction for adult animation to evolve, and it is so good. Next up, Infinity Train Book 4. I love Infinity Train, baby. I made an entire video like a few months ago about like, you know, wanting to, because that I think more people should watch it, and we need to save the show from cancellation. And yes, the show was canceled, and I could probably put this, because this is technically the final season, because, you know, because it was canceled, I could put it in the segment where I talked about the shows that ended. But I'm not gonna do that, because I truly believe Infinity Train will come back. We're gonna get that show back. And I'm not being sarcastic. I genuinely believe it, and I want it to be true, because this is a show I definitely want to talk about on this channel. But I want to do it when it's complete, when it gets to tell its entire story that it wants to tell. And I definitely believe this is possible. Hashtag save Infinity Train. Hashtag renew Infinity Train. Do it. Just do it. Just do it. Infinity Train is one of the greatest shows in general I have ever seen, and I love it. And it's such a good concept. And oh yeah, Infinity Train Book 4. Man, this season was honestly pretty good. It doesn't really work as a final season, because again, it wasn't meant to be the final season. It's like not as good as season 3, but I think I'd say it's like on par with season 1. And I still really like, they had some good moments in there. I love the dynamic with the 2 characters and the journey they went through. Had some like interesting like cars in there that they went through. And overall, I would say it's very solid, man. It's a very good season. It just does not work as a final season. But like but I guess I wasn't disappointed in it as like a few other people, because I didn't view it as a final season. I just viewed it as another season, hoping that, you know, one day we will get the rest of those seasons to come out. And I truly believe it. Please, guys, I am begging you, go hashtag save Infinity Train, hashtag renew Infinity Train, hashtag give me more Infinity Train HBO Max, please. I am begging you. Okay, yeah, write that whole thing down. Okay, next up, this is gonna be different. This wasn't on a streaming service. This is actually on YouTube, on Divsy Pop's channel, I believe, and it's called a show called Hell of a Boss, and it is really good, honestly, and you should absolutely check it out. It's like, it's a show about like these imps who live in like hell, and they have like this business where they go on up to the human world and kill people for like people who hire them. And it's like really interesting. I love the concept, and the animation is honestly very good, man. I love the visual style. The voice performances are really good. It's got Richard Horvitz, aka Invader Zim, in there, and that's pretty epic. And Brandon Rogers is also in here, and that's really cool. And but the recent episodes, man, have gone so good. Ever since the episode, I think it started to get I already thought it was very good. I was like, yeah, that was really funny, man. I really like it. It's very interesting. But up to the I think when I go whoa, holy crap, this is honestly amazing, and I am so excited to see where this goes. Was the episode where they were on the farm, and then that striker character came in, and oh my god, the animation in that one sequence was honestly, oh my god, it slapped so hard, and it was honestly amazing. And then the episodes after that were also very good, man. Honestly, there are some moments in the episodes that can look downright amazing. Oh, the fight scene in the episode where they met those secret agents. Oh my god, that amazing, the way the camera moved and everything. It was so good. And then and the Osmodeus episode. Oh my god, that episode. I did not expect this show to make me feel emotion, to make me almost cry. How dare you do that, Bibsy Pop? Why? What? But oh my god, this show is honestly so amazing. And this first season is not done yet, but more episodes are coming in 2022, and I am so excited. Go check out Hell of a Boss. It's on Bibsy Pop's channel. On YouTube, it's on YouTube, and it's all for free if you got YouTube. So go watch it. It is so good, man. Okay, another thing I want to talk about: Adventure Time Distant Lands Together Again. There was Adventure Time Distant Lands was this mini series that were kind of continuing stories from Adventure Time, which ended, and it's these are just kind of some stories that they wanted to tell but they never could, and now here they can on HBO Max. There was another episode that came out today, which was the final one, called Wizard City. It was pretty good. I liked it. I thought it was fun. I had a good time with it, and I definitely say you should check it out. But the one that I want to give special attention to was the one that came before that, which was supposed to be the final one, but because of reasons, it's too complicated to say, and I'm trying to move on, guys. I'm not gonna say it right now, but this one, Together Again, is honestly so good. It tells the story of Finn and Jake trying to. Okay, is it spoiler to say? Screw it, I'm gonna say. They die in the episode. They are dead, and they are going to trying to find their place in the afterlife, and it is really interesting. And honestly, it is so good. Legit, I think it almost brought a tear into my eye. I had to force the tears back in there. And this is saying as someone who watches Adventure Time. I have not finished it, and I am not familiar with every aspect of it. But I definitely felt oh my god, this is probably an even better finale. No, this is definitely a better finale than the actual finale to Adventure Time, which I did see. And the actual finale is good, but if I'm talking about which one was more emotionally good, I think it's this one, because it had the main thing that was front and center was the relationship between Finn and Jake, and it was honestly really good. It was so good, man. The animation was great, and honestly, it just felt so. I feel like this should have been the conclusion to Adventure Time, and probably to Distant Lands, but overall, man, I still think it's good. I still like the finale to Adventure Time, but I feel like this one makes more sense as a finale. It's just so good, honestly. And this is saying as someone who hasn't even seen a lot of Adventure Time, but I promise, I'm watching more of it. And the other one I want to mention is probably so close to being my favorite anime show from this year, man. Legit, this is definitely one of my favorites of just overall. It is so good. Arcane. Okay, so this is a prequel, I guess, to League of Legends. I don't know what League of Legends is. I haven't played it. What the hell is an of? Okay, but I will say this. I went in going okay, everyone's saying it's good. All right, so tell me what makes it so good. And then I watch it, and oh my god, this show is so good, bro. Oh my god, the story is just so engaging and interesting. Oh, and the characters, the drama with them, and the world, this interesting, almost fantasy steampunk world, but all this technology, and visually, oh my god, it is so good. The visuals, oh my god, I'm just slobbering in the mouth. I know that's gross, but it's so good, and the characters. Oh my god, the character's so interesting, man. It's it almost makes me want to play League of Legends. I said almost. I don't really. It doesn't look interesting to me. But man, oh man. Okay, this show is honestly so great. And who knows? Maybe I'll even make a video on it in the future. I'm saying that a lot. Who knows if anything of what I'm saying is true? About if I'll even make some of the videos that I'm saying I'm gonna make. But hey, we'll just see what happens. Arcane is so good, and I definitely consider it probably my number 2. For best animated show of the year, maybe even just best, for one of my favorite shows of the year is what I mean. But what exactly is number 1? Wait, did I end the movie section? All right, Maya and the Three, mini series on Netflix created by Jorge Gutierrez, the creator of El Tigre, and The Book of Life, and man, oh man, this show is so good. And of course, it's clearly inspired by Mesoamerican culture and of course Mexican culture, and it's the fact that this show is created by a Mexican man. I gotta support it, man. Hispanic person right here, Mexico represent. Okay, I'm sorry, that was cringy. I'm sorry, but like, man, I love this show. It is honestly great. Arcane is also amazing. Don't get me wrong, and that is so close to being my number one. And why is this so familiar to the movie segment? Whatever, I don't care. Arcane is so close, man. It would probably be number one for a lot of people. For me personally, though, Maya and the 3D is so good. Like, oh my god, the CG animation. Oh my god, it is so gorgeous. I love Jorge Gutierrez designs of like characters and stuff, and here it is honestly amazing. I love the voice performances by a lot of characters. Oh, the story itself is so interesting. Like, it does have that story of like, oh, we got this band of heroes that the team up to fight the big bad guy. But honestly, that story is kind of epic. Yes, it's a story you've heard before multiple times, but hey, if it works, it works, and it works here, man. Oh my god, it is so epic. Like, this is like, Jorge Gutierrez has described this as like Mexican Lord of the Rings, and that should give you a description of how epic this goes, man. Oh my god, like the places they go, like so amazing. Oh my god, and like I love the story overall. Like, oh my god, and like all the different designs for the gods and everything, like the god of war and everything. Oh my god, like a Mictlan and stuff. Like, it's just like so good, and it's also very funny at times. Like I said, I love the vocal performances in that story, man. The story is so epic and grand, and it's so interesting to watch, and I was like having a good time. And it's a mini series, so it's already completed. It's only 1 season long. Go watch it, and you'll be done with it. And trust me, it is so worth it. Maya and the 3 is so good. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I don't know how else to end this. It's because Maya and the 3 is awesome. Alright, now let's move on to anime, because why not at this point? Oh god, I am just adding like extra work here. But the thing is, anime is actually the section of this video that I think I have like the least to talk about, because look, I watched quite a bit of anime this year, but most of it was just anime from the past years or catching up on anime. Here, for when it comes to actually new stuff that came out this year, it's really only really three things I got here. Very, like, I feel kind of embarrassed, but I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I have so little to talk about. But another part of me goes, less work, yay. And I mean, it would probably be even less work to just not talk about it at all, but here I go. And I mean, yeah, I could probably put anime in with the cartoon segment, just have mentioned them there, because anime is just cartoon shit. Okay, that's a joke. Okay, that's half a joke. Okay, I know. In some sense, you could say anime is just Japanese cartoons, and while to some extent I can agree with that, and to some extent I also feel like anime is just so different enough from just Western animation that I feel like it should deserve its own segment. And when I say different, I don't mean like different like in a better way or in a worse way, just different. And I can like them both equal. I'm good. This is a whole conversation for another. Let's just move on. Okay, so first off, My Hero Academia Season 5. I really like My Hero Academia. I think it's a great show. It's one of my favorite animes, most definitely. It's actually the anime that got me into animes. Like, before I had like whiffs and tastes of, the Japanese animation, but like nothing that really made me go, hey, I want to look more into this. But when I watched My Hero Academia, I was like, man, this is so good. So great. I should check out more animes. And then I did, and then that's when my Weeaboo site came out, and so thank you, My Hero Academia. Or maybe I should say, I hate you for doing that. You ruined my life, My Hero Academia. Now I'm a stupid weeb. That's a joke. Okay, but we'll move on. My Hero Academia Season 5 came out this year. And honestly, it's very good. I think like the middle arc, I don't think was that great. Like, it has such a great concept though of Izuku Midoriya, Todoroki, I was gonna say Bakugan for a second. Bakugo doing the work study with Endeavor, and Todoroki's dad, and I think like that's such that is really interesting on paper, but the way it was done, it's like, I don't know, I just like wasn't that invested into it. I did like the stuff with the family, Todoroki's family. I thought that stuff was really great to watch, but overall it was just fine. But the first arc and the third arc of the season I thought were really great. The first arc being like the competition with 1A against 1B in their fight. It was really great. So many great moments, some great action. Overall, it was really great. Definitely gave me like similar vibes to like the season 2 arc, where again it was another I guess I just like the competition arcs. Okay, but like yeah, I thought it was really great. And the final arc, that being like the My Villain Academia, I believe it was called. We got to see the League of Villains, and it was very interesting. And then they're off against like the I forgot what they were called. Brotherhood of Evil. No, that's from Teen Titans. I'm sorry, I'm a fake fan, I know, but like that evil cult or whatever that wants to make wants like no limits on quirks at all, and it's like I thought it was very interesting, and we got a little shiggy with it. With Shigaraki's origins in that arc. Like there were 2 episodes dedicated to his past, and it was like so interesting, man. We even got to learn a little bit about the other characters as well in their past. It was like really interesting, you know. And the way it ended was kind of lackluster, but overall, I thought that arc was very solid, and like I'm really excited to see what they do with season 6. I haven't seen the movie yet, but hopefully I will soon because it does look very good. The movie that came out this year. And overall, I don't know how this compares to the manga, or at least like the part of the manga that has this part of the story. I've only recently started reading the manga, and I'm still like pretty early on. But like overall, I would say this season, very solid. Alright, Demon Slayer Season 2 came out this year, and Demon Slayer is a show that I think is very good, and I like it a lot. I don't think I'm as in love with it as other people, but that's just a me thing personally. Who knows, maybe after a few rewatches or as the show goes on more, I'll actually get to that level, but I'll say this. Demon Slayer is honestly a very good show, and it's very enjoyable. I think like the animation is great. Like I love like its art style. The action is wonderful, and like the music. Demon Slayer music is like so amazing. Like you can shoot me in the stomach while playing Demon Slayer music, and I'll still say, wow, that was a really great episode. Oh my god, why did I say that? Okay, but yeah, it would be. Anyway, Demon Slayer Season 2. It actually started out with like not technically the season 2, it was actually like earlier on there was a Demon Slayer movie called the Mugen Train or something like that. I know I'm a fake fan. God, I'm just revealing how much of a fake fan I am in this video. Okay, the Mugen Train, and they turned that movie, split it up into episodes, and put it as part of the show, the Mugen Train arc. And overall, I would say I like it a lot. I think it had a really interesting story, some really great moments, some emotional moments even in there, and they were pretty effective. Some great action. It was really good. You could make the argument I should just mention this in the movie segment. The thing is, I don't know if I want to count it because I didn't watch it as a movie. I watched it in episode form. So I don't know if that's the same thing, but I don't know. It'll depend on the kind of person you are. But me personally, I'll put it here. I would say I thought the Mugen Train arc was very interesting, and it was really good. And now the recent arc that the show is on is also pretty good. It hasn't finished yet, but so far I'm really enjoying it. There was one scene where like there were these muscular rats. That was really epic. And overall, I really so far the story it's moving a little bit slow, but again, it's just like the start. And I'll say that I like it. It's like, again, I don't want to comment too much on it. I mostly really only want to talk about the Mugen Train arc because that part's already completed. But the recent arc, it's only just started. But it's like overall, I'll say I think it is very good. And yeah, Demon Slayer is honestly a very good show. It's really good. It really is good. I don't know what else to say. I know I'm repeating myself, but actually I don't know how to defend myself. But yeah, I know I repeat myself too much. In hindsight, I probably should have made a script for this video. Okay, let's move on to my favorite anime of the year. It's Star Wars Visions, man, because it's Star Wars. Okay, but for real though, Star Wars Visions on Disney Plus was such an interesting concept. It's like this anthology series where every episode, like, it's like a different anime creator, a person who works in anime, making their own Star Wars story and just doing whatever the hell they want. And it is honestly so good. So many amazing stories, so many great visuals. It is so good. My personal favorite episode being, I believe it's the third one, Twins, because that is basically what I expected when I heard Star Wars anime. That is basically like the picture definition of what I expected, and it was honestly so good. Like such great action, such great visuals, and it also feels so Star Wars-y with like with having two family members, one being part of the dark side, one having like the Force, and there being conflict between. It is so good. And of course the brother sister stuff, it's like and the other episodes were great too, like the first one where you have like this one guy who it's like done in like a visual style of like old samurai movies, which was one of the inspirations was to Star Wars, and like the way it was done, and like the story was also really interesting about this one guy who you think is like a Jedi because he used the Force, but then it's revealed that, well, I don't want to skip the spoilers, but it's been out, you probably know already, but like so many. The Star Wars Visions is honestly so good, and oh my god, it is like I really liked it so far, man. I actually really want to do a ranking video of like the episodes, but because of like of things, I just couldn't find the time to do it. But who knows? Maybe I'll save it for next year, or maybe season 2 comes up, because honestly, I would love to see a season 2, man. Because I think like I really want to see more of this. I want to see more anime creators creators telling their own Star Wars stories, because like if they're like this and they can be very good, then I say go for it, man. Like, oh my god, it's Star Wars Visions is honestly amazing. And another episode that I really like is called The Ninth Jedi. It basically feels like the pilot to a Star Wars anime. And if Disney is gonna pick up any, if they have the opportunity to pick up any of these and turn into a full show, I think it should be that one, The Ninth Jedi. Oh my god, Star Wars Visions. I mean, I know this might sound a little cheating because like it's not like an anime based like a manga or like even just an original anime. It's like, oh, David, you're just putting it on here because it's Star Wars, and maybe that's true a little bit, but honestly, man, I really like this. And go check out Star Wars Visions. It is honestly really great. God, I am really tired for filming. Are we done now? No, because I gotta keep adding work for myself because I guess I just hate myself. We're talking about video games, and okay, this segment is gonna be different because all the games that I'm gonna be mentioning here, the games that came out this year that I played, I have not finished. Look, I could never find the time, and also I'm lazy. It's mostly that second part that is the most true. I'm just lazy, and I haven't been able to find the time to, you know, finish these games, but I have played like a good amount of them, so consider these mostly just first impressions. I'll just say that, hey, I like what I played so far, and I want to count them because I really like video games, and I just want to have this section here, okay? And also, some of these games are just like updated, are not actually games that came out this year. They're just updated versions of games that came out years ago, but they came out this year, so I'm gonna say it counts. You may say, oh no, that doesn't count, and you're right, it probably doesn't, but it's my video. I do what I want. Okay, so speaking of those games that are not actually original games for this year, but are just updated versions of games that came out years ago, but these versions came out this year, I'm just gonna mention them all here, okay? So that way no one, that way, you know, I could just get them out of the way. There aren't a lot, it's just like only 3. Alright, let's start off. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. Oh, by the way, this is, these are all gonna be games on the Nintendo Switch. I played the Nintendo Switch versions of, like, these games, and most of them are just Nintendo games, because, look, I don't have any other consoles. I only got the Nintendo Switch, and I like obese plumbers. What can I say? Okay, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. Really fun, honestly. It's like, I've technically played almost all the major 3D Mario games in my play. It's like, that is true. I haven't beaten all of them. The only one I beat is Super Mario Odyssey, which is probably my favorite one. It's one of my favorite games, honestly. It's really great. And this one, I don't think it's as good as Mario Odyssey, but I like it more than Sunshine. I'm sorry, I haven't finished Sunshine, so maybe it gets better, but like, it's like, but look, okay, I'm not gonna dog on Sunshine. Like, I think it's a good game. I'm just saying that. I'll say I like this version a lot. It's very different compared to those other 3D Mario games, though, because it's like, it's kind of like an in-between between 2D Mario, like, let's say New Super Mario Brothers, and 3D Mario, like Mario 64 or Mario Odyssey or Sunshine and stuff. It's like, it's kind of like an in-between between those two, and it's very interesting. And honestly, I really like it. I haven't finished it yet, like I said, I haven't finished any of these. And I haven't played Bowser's Fury, which I should probably mention because that's the only original thing of this game that came out this year. And it looks like a lot of fun. It looks like I'll enjoy it a lot because it looks like more like what, you know, like the other 3D Marios, like Odyssey and like 64 stuff. Like, it kind of looks a little bit more like that, but with like some 3D, with the 3D World stuff. And it looks so good, guys. But the thing is, I kind of want to finish 3D World first before I get to Bowser's Fury, and I know I don't have to. I could just go into Bowser's Fury, but I don't know, man. I really want to try out 3D World first, and so far 3D World is a lot of fun. It's like, I think it's very enjoyable. It's like definitely one of those games that I would describe as like ones like, after like a long day, I go like, oh, I just want to relax a bit. I'll play a little bit of 3D World. It definitely gives me that vibe, and with it being portable on, like, you know, on the Switch, I'd be like, hey, I could just play it, like, just to relax while I'm in the car. Okay, nice. Well, not while I'm driving, obviously. Okay, the point is, Super Mario 3D World, really fun so far, and I'm really excited to play more. Bowser's Fury, I'm really excited to try that out, and I really wanted to play it before I made this video, but I haven't gotten a chance to yet, but it looks great, and I'm sure it is. Alright, next one, Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. Okay, I knew about this game before, like the spoilers in it, like, you know, about the twist about it. I'm not gonna say here just in case you don't know about it, but like I decided, hey, I want to play it anyway because this game was originally designed to be on the computer, but now it's on consoles. And I was like, all right, I want to check it out. And so far, I haven't seen any changes yet. Like I said, I haven't finished it. But the thing is, I've actually been playing this game with my sisters. They were curious, like, hey, well, what is so weird about this game? And I was like, oh, you don't know? All right, well, we're gonna play it together, and we've been like doing the voices and stuff, and it's been like really fun. And I'll just describe this. It's a dating simulator, like with an anime style. maybe with a twist. I'm kidding. It's obviously with a twist. But like, I'm not gonna say what it is in case you want to play it. But so far, I've been having a good time, honestly. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited to play more. Especially, you know, my sister's not have been having a fun time playing it. And the last one that I want to mention in this part is The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD. My favorite game of all time is probably The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And after I played that, I was like, I want to know more about Zelda. That was my first Zelda game also. Like, I'm saying because I haven't played like a lot of games, and by that I mean like I haven't finished a lot of games. But like, it's like, I'll say Breath of the Wild right now is probably my favorite one because it is so good. And I was like, I want to learn more about the Zelda stuff. And I played Link's Awakening. I'm having a lot of fun with that one. I played a little bit of A Link to the Past, but not enough to really, you know, make a full statement on it. I was just saying I think it's good so far. But this one is like another. So I'll just say this is like, I guess, another Zelda game that I'm getting really into, and so far I think it's pretty good. It's definitely, I know it's one of those more divisive Zelda games, and so I don't really know about like if I got into those parts that people go like, I don't like that part. I don't think so. I'm still very early on, but I'll say I'm having a good time. I will say this other thing though. I was having a really hard time when it came to like flying the Loftwing, especially during that race. I had no idea what to do for like the longest time, and I don't entirely think that's the game's fault. I think that's just me being stupid. Yeah, it was most likely me being stupid, but hey, I think it's pretty good so far, and I really like Zelda, you know, the franchise. Like, you know, I've been learning more into it, watching more gameplay videos, and now I'm playing more of the games, and Skyward Sword HD, pretty fun. Okay, so now let's move on to actual original games that came out this year. The first one being Metroid Dread. Oh my god, guys, this game is so amazing. I might go as far as to say it's my favorite game I've played this year, but I don't want to completely say that yet because like I haven't finished any of these games, and like I don't want to like I don't think I'll have a segment of this video where go like, oh, this is my favorite game, because it's like I haven't finished any of them. I don't think I can say that right now. I doubt that this game or any of these games will get like bad towards the end. Well, it really depends. But like, you know, I'll just say for now, if this is probably the one I had the most fun playing, because oh my god, this game is so good. When it comes to Metroid, the franchise itself, I haven't played a lot of the games, and by a lot it's because like they're barely on the Switch and I don't have access to it to really anywhere else. And so like I have played a little bit of Super Metroid on Nintendo Switch Online, and it's okay. Like, I mean, I want to love it like everyone else does, but personally me, I don't know, I just can't really get into it. I think it's the controls for me, or maybe because I'm just freaking stupid, because like there's this one second where you have to do a wall jump, and for the love of god, I cannot figure it out. Oh my god. Some people will probably go like, David, it is so easy. It's like, it's not easy for me. I don't know what to do. But like, okay, but it's not that I hate the genre of Metroidvanias themselves. Like, I really like Metroidvanias, which is like the genre that Metroid and Castlevania inspired. Like, I really enjoy playing games like Guacamelee and Shantae the Pirate's Curse. I think those games are a ton of fun. And it really upsets me that like, oh man, I really want to find a Metro game that like I really like, because Metroid like looks like a cool franchise, and like I tried out what some people say is the best game in it, and it's like Metroid, you know, Super Metroid, and I just can't get it. Am I not a Metroid person? Is that what it is? But like, nope, I played Metroid Dread, and this game slaps, man. It is so good. Like, first of all, I love the movement. Like, the controls on Samus is so good. Like, legit, when I first started playing and I was doing all the moves, I was legit saying out loud, "Hoo, wah, yeah," like I was a child or something. I was like, man, this is great. And it's like, oh, the movement is great, and it's like the exploration is also really good. It's also, you know, with a title like Metroid Dread in this cover, it does have a little bit of horror in it, and man, oh man, I came close to pooping my pants sometimes when it comes to those Emmys, which is the robots that come find you. Like, legit, just thinking about it gives me a little bit of a panic attack inside. Like, legit, it kind of does, man. Just thinking about that Emmy coming close to me and I'm trying to run away from it. I legit, every time I encountered him, I've always got caught. But like, man, Metroid Dread, besides that, it's like, Metroid Dread is honestly such a good game so far. And one of the main reasons I really want to finish this video is because I am freaking tired of recording. Please, I want to leave. But another main reason is because I want to go and play more of this game. It is so good. Another game I've been playing quite a bit of is Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. I have never played any of the other Monkey Ball games before, but I've heard they were really good, and this is said to be like the big return to it, and it has the word Mania in it, and I'm just saying that's a little bit funny because Sega also did another Mania game, Sonic Mania, which is said to have been the return to classic Sonic, 2D, side-scrolling and stuff like that, and I guess Sega should just continue this Mania project of like just bringing back old series and revitalize them. Put the word Mania, yeah, I do. Knights Mania, Golden Knight no, that's not a game. What am I thinking? Golden Axe Mania, sure. I don't know what I'm saying, bro. The point is, Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. I don't know how it compares to previous Monkey Balls. So I'm just gonna say this as like someone who's playing this for the first time. I think it's a lot of fun. I love like the controls of it, like being like this little monkey in this little ball, like rolling around like these these different places. I'm really bad at describing things. I'm sorry. I'm also really tired. Okay, guys, I really want to go to bed. Okay, but the point is, the controls are great, and I love the little obstacle, like these almost obstacle type of courses that you have to go through, and it's like, I fall almost like all the time, but I have a good time, and like figuring it out is a lot of fun, honestly. It's like, I think it's like really great, and also, I mean, look how cute that monkey is. Look at the monk. It's very cute, and yeah, that's how I describe it. It's cute and fun. It's really great. What else is there? I guess I really like Pac-Man 99. It's like Tetris 99, but with Pac-Man in it. You play a game of Pac-Man against 98 other players, and yeah, pretty fun. I guess there's that, and I want to give, I know I said I wasn't going to have like a segment where I go like, hey, this is my like favorite game of the year because I haven't played most of these, but I do want to give this special segment to something specific. That being the end of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. That's right, all the final DLC characters came out this year. The other like characters that came out, Min, let's see what else was there. Sephiroth and Minecraft Steve came out last year, and man oh man, Minecraft Steve was such a huge surprise. Like, I had like no faith he would come in at all. I was like, okay, no, that's impossible. There was no way he would come in. But no, he did, and man oh man, it was such a great surprise. Like, oh my god, that was incredible. Like, I had no faith that he would actually come in, but no, they didn't. Those crazy people did it. And this year we got Pyra and Mithra from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I haven't played that game, but I really like these characters. I think they're a lot of fun to use. Kazuya from like Tekken, they're fine, I guess. Like, I mean, I don't know much about Tekken, and like the character itself is like, and they're not terrible to use. I just don't love them. But like the biggest surprise, like, how I said like Minecraft Steve, I had no faith in him. Like, there were actually two characters that when I heard about them, I was like, okay, yeah, I bet money that there is no way that those two characters will ever come to Smash. Minecraft Steve and Sora from Kingdom Hearts. But last year we got Minecraft Steve, and this year we got Sora as the final Smash character, and oh my god, I was like, my jaw was like dropped, like, no, those crazy people did. Sakurai, that madman, did it. He got Sora from Kingdom Hearts in Smash. What? Oh my god. And yeah, I just want to mention this. I know it's not like some of you will say I probably shouldn't mention it because it's not a specific game. It's like just adding new characters to an already existing game from 2018. But I don't know. I feel like this is important to mention. Smash, like, we might not be getting any more patches or like, well, maybe patches, but like, updates or anything like that. No more new characters. I guess Smash Ultimate is over now, and you know what? It's complete. It's complete now. And also, Sora being a Smash, that was a big event, man. And I don't know, I just feel like this was important to mention. Probably my favorite thing I want to mention here. I know what you're thinking. We should be done, right? Like, I mean, what else is there to talk about? Well, there is more. Okay, but thankfully this is the final segment of the video, and I'm just gonna call it extra stuff, just some stuff that doesn't really fit anywhere else in like the other segments, like movies or shows or anything like that. They're just like, stuff that doesn't really fit in there, but I still want to mention it because I still like them a lot and I want to talk about them. Stuff like shorts, specials, things like that. And it is the last thing, so let's just get this over with. Alright, let's talk about some shorts and stuff like that. First off, Spark Shorts. I really like Spark Shorts. They're like these Pixar shorts on Disney Plus, created by people who work at Pixar, and it's usually like their first time on a project, and they're given like a limited time to create the short, and it's like really interesting. And so far the ones that have come out, I really enjoy, and this one is no different. 20-something. Honestly, very good. It's very well animated, has some funny moments in there, and even has like a really relatable message. Like, I too sometimes feel like 3 kids in a trench coat. So it speaks to me in a way. Another one that speaks to me is Far From the Tree, which was a short that appeared before the movie Encanto back in theaters, and it's also really well, like it's also well animated, and it's like, oh, I got this kind of emotional story, honestly, about this raccoon trying to like wanted to do his own thing and help out his dad, but his dad is just too much of a jerk, and it touches one of my biggest fear ever, becoming like my parent. Okay, sorry. Okay, yeah, it speaks to me, which honestly, like, even the, like, I don't know, man, I think it's a good message, you know, I say check it out. It has a very good message in it that I think a lot of people can learn from, and it spoke to me in a way, and I was like, man, not just that, the movie Encanto also spoke to me, like I mentioned earlier, and I was like, after the movie theater, after I left, I was all like, dang, Disney, I did not come in expecting you to touch me in the heart like that, bro. Okay, and another one is gonna be like a little bit weird, but hey, I really like it and I want to mention it. So back like on Halloween, I believe, on Adult Swim's YouTube channel, they released like this fake trailer for a show called Learning with Pibby or something like that, and it was like it seemed like one of those like things where we look like a fun kid show, but then it get all messed up and creepy. It's like, you know, you expect that kind of thing, and it was that, but then suddenly it became like a huge like crossover with like a bunch of Cartoon Network and Hanna-Barbera characters, and it was like, what is this? And then it kind of looked like a trailer for like this show about these cartoon characters having to team up and then like fight like this evil that was corrupting the different cartoon universes, and it looked legit kind of epic, man. And they're having talks about actually or I don't know if there's like a thing with the people working on it, but like people are saying like, hey, we want this to be a show, and honestly, I think it'd make like a great miniseries, like, yeah, making this like big crossover, man. I'd watch it, and I don't know, it was a surprise, man. And honestly, I would love to see it come out as like a miniseries or something. Yeah, Learning with Pibby, I'd watch that. Alright, now let's talk about specials. First up, Muppets Haunted Mansion, which appeared back in October on Disney Plus, and honestly, a pretty fun surprise. Like, I mean, I wasn't expecting it to be bad, but I was like, it'll probably be okay. But honestly, it was pretty good. I had fun with it. It's nothing spectacular or grand, and there are definitely better Muppet things out there, especially ones that Disney has created, which are also the movies. Everything after that is like kind of up in the air, like debatable. It's good, but this one, honestly, probably the best thing Disney has released Muppet related since like Muppets Most Wanted, if we're being honest. And overall, it was fun. Yeah, there were some fun moments, some fun celebrity cameos, and like some pretty good songs in there. And overall, I say, yeah, I just describe it as fun. I say check it out, especially if you're a Muppets fan. Next up is Solar Opposites Christmas Special. I could have mentioned this back in like the cartoon segment where I talked about Solar Opposites season 2, but it's its own thing, so I'll mention it here. They had a Christmas special, also pretty funny. They have like this whole subplot, or like it's really the main plot, about them going into like the movie Jingle All the Way, and the way it goes, man, it surprised me in a bit. It's like, oh, that's really the direction they're going with, and like, yeah, it was crazy, it was wild, it was funny. It was a Solar Opposites Christmas special. And next up is Trolls Holiday in Harmony. Look, I think I don't really care much for the Trolls franchise. It's like, I mean, I don't hate the movies, but like, you know, I was like, I wasn't gonna check this out originally, but then I thought, for curiosity and for giggles, sure, I'll check it out. And honestly, it was a lot better than I expected. It was pretty funny, and it's definitely the best Trolls thing in the entire franchise, like for real though. And it's not just because James Corden wasn't in it. There was actually other good stuff too. For real, that is the best part. James Corden was not in it. Right. Final thing I want to mention is probably one of my favorite things from this year, and I think in some sense I could have put this in the movie segment because it does have the length of a movie technically. It's like, I think a lot of people do consider movies, but I don't know about me because it's technically on Netflix. It's a special, and I feel like I think it makes more sense here. But at the same time, like legit, if I did consider this movie, it'd probably be like probably one of my top 3 favorite movies. But it's like, I don't know, but I'm just gonna put it here, and it'd be a crime if I didn't mention this. Bo Burnham's Inside. Man, oh man, this was so great. I didn't know who Bo Burnham was at all. I just heard some people go like, wow, this is amazing, and I was like, you know what, I'll check it out. And it was honestly really good, man. It's Bo Burnham. He's like a musician, like a comedic songwriter and stuff like that. I know I'm doing a terrible description. Like I said, I only figured out about it because of the special, but like, it's him, and he's like, it's about his journey, like stuck basically in quarantine for almost an entire year back in 2020, and like him going through that process of it. And it's like so emotional, it's hilarious, and it's got so many great songs in it. Like, man, oh man, the songs are so good. They are so great that I wanted to. As when I found out, when I found 8-bit versions of them on YouTube, I was like, I gotta use them for something, and here they are. That's what you've been listening to throughout this whole video. And man, the Bo Burnham songs in this are so great, man. I've been listening to them over and over again. And like I said, like, the special itself has so many great moments. And it's like, I don't want to talk about it so much because it's like, I feel like that's kind of like doing that is kind of against what the special was trying to say, that we shouldn't be putting out everything of our lives just like on the internet, and like we should like, like just live life, I guess. I'm pretty sure that's what he was saying. I could be dumb though, but other people have been saying that's what he's saying, and I think I see that. I know, I'm stupid. Okay, but like, look, Burnham's Inside is honestly very good. I love the songs in it. It's hilarious. It can be downright emotional, and it's just really good, and definitely one of my favorite things to come from this year. And we are done. Oh, thank God. I am so freaking tired. All right. That was everything from 2021 that I really like entertainment-wise. My favorite stuff from the year of 2021. And honestly, I don't even think that's even true if I'm being honest. Like, man, I still feel like I missed some stuff. Like, I'm sure I'll look back on this video and always think, dang it, why didn't I mention that? And in fact, I'm pretty sure there's probably some stuff that like, I know there's a lot of good stuff that I didn't get a chance to see, and that's why they're not mentioned here. Or maybe I did see them and I just thought they were bad. Okay, that's kind of a joke. But like, and I know there's probably some things here that people will go, really? You liked that? And yeah, I did. This was my favorite stuff. And if you disagree with some of them, that's perfectly fine. Opinions, right? In fact, why don't you let me know what you like from 2021? Let me know, like in the comments, what's your favorite like movie, show, video game, whatever it is. Let me know down there. I would love to hear what other people really liked. And overall, 2021, yeah, this is what I like entertainment-wise. Everything else from the world, oh yeah, that's up in the air, man. 2021, was it at least better than 2020? In my opinion, I believe somewhat, but it was still a not so great year. Like, a lot of crazy stuff happened. For me personally, some really good stuff happened to me. Also, some not so great stuff. And this year has also been really hard for a lot of people, man. Like, yeah, like I said, a lot of crazy things happened, some really, really bad things. But hopefully, with the future coming, hopefully things will get better. I think we should continue looking on the bright side of things. It can be really hard, but I think it's important to do it because that way we can still have hope. And yeah, I have hope that at least 2022 will be better. Will all the problems from these past 2 years be fixed? I doubt it, but hopefully some are. That's what I'm striving for. And yeah, I'm just ready for 2021 to end now, and 2022, here I come. Okay, that's a little too savvy for ending. I want to do something different. I'm gonna do something I have never done before. I'm gonna make a prank phone call. Okay, and I know just who to call. Okay. Here I go. Hey, Sassy Sal, is your refrigerator running?
How dare you even ask me that question, you stupid stranger. I'm here at my 100% safe robotic refrigerator factory, and there's no way my refrigerators will run from me. No, my refrigerators are running towards me.
You shall not enslave us anymore.
They'll never take me alive.
Sorry, the number you have reached is not in service. Please
Happy New Year.